Good morning everyone, and welcome to BVC Thought for the day. I trust you're well, and if you have a few minutes, please spend them with me as I look at the subject of generosity. It's something that I'm on a journey with at the moment. I'm really looking into it and I'm really being challenged by it. I'm sure you would agree with me that it's something that we admire in people, especially when it impacts us. It really leaves a positive mark on our lives. We serve such a generous God, and I just want to show you how much of a generous God through one passage of scripture. It's the feeding of the 5,000, and I love the account in John's Gospel particularly because of one phrase. Basically, a crowd turns up and Jesus has compassion over them and he wants to feed them. But again, from human perspective, oftentimes we only see obstacles and the problems. Philip, who's one of the disciples, in verse 7 of John chapter 6 says, "It would take more than half a year's wages to buy enough bread for each one to have a bite." As it turns out then, there was a boy with 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. And again, from human perspective, you might think, well, what's the point? That's not going to go very far in feeding all of these people. But you see, Jesus had a different perspective and he had a different mindset. See, going from verse 11, Jesus then took the loaves, gave thanks, and distributed to those who were seated as much as they wanted. He did the same with the fish. I just want to show you this particular phrase that stood out to me, and it is in verse 11. It is as much as they wanted. You know, when Jesus and the disciples were sharing around the bread, I always imagined that they would just break off a piece and that's all you got. You just got a piece of bread and a piece of fish. For whatever reason, that was always the mindset that I had. But this phrase, as much as they wanted, just speaks to me of such generosity, of such a generous, big God. When they were sharing around these 5 loaves and these 2 fish amongst all these thousands of people, just imagine how amazing and how incredible this is, that each person had more than enough and there were 12 baskets left over. This speaks to me of a generous God, and it just makes me think that there's 2 mindsets in general. There's a scarcity mindset and there's an abundance mindset. And if you think of life like a pie, the scarcity mindset is that there is only the one pie. There's just about enough to go around if everyone takes a slice, but if everyone takes too big of a slice, there's less for everyone else. Whereas the abundance mindset says that we can make another pie. Everyone has enough, and then we can go and get more if we need to. There's never going to be a shortage. And you can imagine how this affects us in our daily life. If we have a scarcity mindset, we're trying to hoard onto things. We're trying to hold on to what we have. If we don't, we might run out. Whereas the abundance mindset just turns that on its head. We start seeing things in abundance, seeing that there's more than enough to go around. We start thinking about others before ourselves. We become more selfless and more generous in everything that we do. We serve a generous God. He is generous in everything that he does. Just look at creation. See the detail and the intricacy and the abundance of it. Look at the sky at night and see all the stars and just think of the expanse of the universe. There is nothing stingy or small when it comes to God or anything that he does. And that was ultimately embodied in Jesus Christ when God sent his only Son to die for us on the cross and to make a way possible for us to get back to him. It's incredible to think of. So I just want to leave that with you. Just have a think today about your mindset. If you have any questions or comments, we'd love to hear from you. We'd love to pray for you. Have an amazing day, and we'll see you again soon.